Believe it or not, there are actually a good number of Pokemon that we haven't seen the true identity of. Many Pokemon, in their various backgrounds, are mentioned to have true forms or identities that aren't the form of the Pokemon we see in the games, and instead the form we see is either concealing their true identity, or their original form is simply one that isn't shown to us. Well, what if we actually got to see what the true forms of these various Pokemon actually look like? That is what we are looking at in today's video, as with the help of my good friend Trevenart, who you should check out with the links in the description, I have designed what some of these true forms could look like if we ever got the chance to see them for real someday. And with that being said, let's go ahead and check them out. When you think Pokemon, you probably also think Japan, which is why I am very glad that the lovely Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. have sponsored this video. These two subscription boxes bring you candy and snacks directly to your door that come straight from Japan, and this month they are Valentine themed. Tokyo Treat's theme is My Snackin' Valentine and gives you modern Japanese treats like these plum chips. They're basically potato chips but made out of plums, and they also have a sour taste to them as well, which altogether just sounds really weird, but it's actually amazing and they taste really good. Meanwhile, Sakura Co. has got you covered on the traditional side of Japanese snackery, and its theme is Valentine's Bliss. From this box, I always loved the Japanese tableware you get every month, and I also loved this little chocolate treat known as Osaka Chiyoko. It's a fancy chocolate treat, and it has this cereal bar type of flavor to it. It was really good. The Valentine's theme is really upping the ante with the snacks in this month's boxes, to be honest. So if you would like to grab yourself a box, or one for that special someone, you can use the links in the description below and get $5 off your first box of each when you use code HOOPS at checkout. It also supports the channel directly as well, so in case you were wanting to get me a Valentine or something, that's the way I would go, I'm just saying. But yeah, these boxes are genuinely awesome. Get yourself some with the link below, and a big thank you to Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. for supporting the channel. The first Pokemon we're going to look at here has pretty much become the poster child of these kinds of Pokemon, and that would be none other than Mimikyu. Mimikyu is a Pokemon who just wants to be as popular as Pikachu is, so it wears the remains of an old Pikachu plush over its body to get people's attention. However, its true appearance underneath this disguise is said to be so horrifying that anyone who gets a look at it will instantly die. So, needless to say, this might be one that we won't get to see anytime soon, but if we did, this is what it might look like. In interpreting Mimikyu's true form, we decided to use Mimikyu's disguised form as a sort of silhouette of its body shape, which might not instantly occur to you at first glance, but it's an option that makes a lot of sense since the Pikachu disguise it wears is simply just draped over its body. We also made sure to give this form a sort of grotesque nature to it, which would explain why it hides itself, and why people's lives are cut short when they see it. However, it's still got that Mimikyu charm to it at the same time that shows that it's got a good heart on the inside, and it just wants someone to be its friend. In this form, it could also continue to be seen trying to hide itself, as this piece of artwork shows, but if you make it angry, it will of course still give you that signature Mimikyu death stare. Ultimately, if Mimikyu really did look something like this, I think that would be pretty cool, and it would be amazing to get to actually see its true form someday, even if we would be risking death to do it. The next Pokemon we're going to look at is another classic in this category, and that is Genesect. Genesect is famous for being a very ancient Pokemon from the distant past that has been resurrected and modified by Team Plasma, which is why we see it the way we do in the games. People have wondered for years about who or what Genesect's true form truly is, and if I had to guess, this is what I think it might look like. First off, I definitely think that the true form of Genesect is its own Pokemon, and not another Pokemon we've already seen before, such as Kabutops, like some theories about this Pokemon will suggest. That just makes the most sense to me, frankly, and would be the smartest way to go on the part of the Pokemon Company as well, as it would give them the chance to market the newly revealed true form of this Pokemon if they ever decided to do that themselves. Since Genesect's typing of Bug Steel is clearly due to Team Plasma's modifications, however, what type would this true form of Genesect be if it ever became the real thing? Well, it could simply just be pure Bug type, but I think giving it the Bug Dark typing would not only be fitting, but would also be super cool. Not only does it fit the look of this Pokemon and its description in the Pokedex as being the strongest of hunters when it was still roaming the earth, but Bug Dark is also a type combination that hasn't been used yet, at least not prior to Gen 9 releasing when this video is being written. So, if that were to remain true, the Bug Dark typing could be used as yet another way to hype up and market this Pokemon, and not to mention, would just add to its coolness even more. Even if it wasn't the first Bug Dark type though, Bug Dark would still be a great way to go for this Pokemon, so that's what I would do if I was in charge, and that's what Genesect could look like if we ever get to see its true form. Now, before we get to our final entry of the video, I wanted to highlight another Pokemon that I already showcased in a previous video, but it does fit into this category and is one of the more iconic members at that. So I figured I would highlight him here really quick, just in case some of you out there haven't seen him before. Another Unova Pokemon with a true identity is the entire Tau trio, Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem, as they were once all combined and were one single Pokemon. In my Pokemon Legends Unova video that I did a while back, I explored a plotline where this Pokemon would finally be revealed to us, and this is what it looks like. If you want to hear more about this Pokemon, I recommend checking out that video to get the whole picture, but I feel like this is a pretty good representation of what it could be like if all three Unova Dragons were combined back into one again. And it's also one that absolutely needs to happen. So hopefully when the Gen 5 remake season rolls around, we'll finally get to see it for ourselves. And now, for our final Pokemon of the video, we've actually got a 3-for-1, because we are looking at the entire Dreepy family. I've talked about the original forms of these Pokemon multiple times before, but basically it's mentioned in the Pokedex that these Pokemon were reborn as ghosts, and they used to live in prehistoric seas when they were alive. This has caused me to be intrigued by what the original forms of these Pokemon could be like for some time, and now I have finally taken the time to come up with my own interpretations with the help of Trevenart, and this is what they look like. Since the Pokedex mentions that Dreepy used to live in prehistoric seas, going with the typing of Dragon Water seemed like a no-brainer here, and as such, the ghostly tails of all these Pokemon translate pretty well into a more aquatic-like tail that would float through the water in a pretty similar fashion. These Pokemon would have been excellent swimmers and would have ruled the seas during the time in which they lived, but by the time they evolved into Dragapult, could have also made their way onto land as well. Also, I don't know what it is, but somehow the Dreepy that accompany both Dracloak and Dragapult here look even cuter than they do in their base forms, but that's besides the point. The point is that the fact that these Pokemon hypothetically exist is super cool, and I would love to see these forms be introduced someday. In fact, I love the idea of Pokemon having past forms like this in general that could potentially be introduced in future games. So if Scarlet and Violet didn't already make past form Pokemon a thing, they need to happen so we can see the true forms of the Dreepy family, or the true form of Genesect for that matter, or even the original Unova Dragon, which could all be introduced this way. I would love to see all the true forms that we explored in this video, but what do you guys think? Which one of these would you like to see the most, and which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new for more. With that said, I will be back with another video very soon, and until the next one as always, thank you all so much for watching this one, I really appreciate it, and I will smell you guys later.